Alright, Shalom Akim, Kahalayim La Yahaba Shim Yashab Bashir Kakudash, and double honors to the Williams and Apostles, Thadi How, Thadi Yashar, for the strength in order to make this video. And Yaratazar, this also helps to open your eyes, man, to read the judgment of Yahaba Shim Yashar. So, yeah, as I named it, Sottish Children, I think I might probably update the title and say Sottish Children, there's levels to stupidity, you know, so. Yeah, my Yarataz, I'm gonna put something like that in the title. But yeah, as came across this video on YouTube. Hold on, yeah, it says a black shoplifter jumps off second floor, shatters both legs, fleeing cops. You know, so Jay, you see, this is what happens when you ain't got the wisdom of Yahweh Shim Yashai dwelling within you, man. You start to flipping do stupid things like this, which really there's levels to stupidity, man. You know, there's levels that this is super low, or I could actually say super high levels of stupidity. But I'm gonna play the video, no, I'm gonna play it. But you have there's levels of stupidity, you know, especially being ignorant of obviously how Bashim Yashar and the true understanding of the scriptures, you know. But then there's higher levels of ignorance and stupidity where, like, you know, if you can't reason with a person, you know, that's pretty much them done for, man. You know, also just has Jake in a very foolish state. So I'm gonna get some precepts on that, but first let's begin with this video. And the answers are once more, you guys are edified, man. You know, once more, the brother Ra'azar Raha Halawaya. You know, it's the same name as the channel. Willing Spirit Praise Yahweh. And obviously, brief introduction. When I say Kal Halalim La, or when, you know, you hear brothers say Kal Halalim La, we're saying all praises to, you know, in the ancient Hebrew. And then when we say Yahweh, that's the name of the Most High, meaning He is, He exists, or He is to be. And when we say Yahweh, we are saying His name means He delivers, and that's the true name of the Messiah, you know, of whom will deliver the elect, of whom we have hope inside to gain salvation from, which is through those chariots. Anyway, so that's when we say Bahashin Rahak Wadash, that means in the name. Ba means in, Ha means the, Sham, Sham means name. So through the Holy Spirit, that's how we then connect to Yahushua. And obviously through Yahushua, that's how we then get our intervention to Yahweh, man. Because we need our mediator, Yahushua, considering the fact that we're in these sinful bodies, man. And He's the one of whom was the first spirit to be created. So anyways, that's you know, enough there for the introduction. Let's start it off, and Yaratas, I'm gonna bring some precepts out.
I'm sure you guys are wondering, how did this even start?
So this guy's stealing glasses, expensive shades.
I ain't gonna keep telling them. Stop playing with me. Damn, feel me?
A few moments later.
He's gonna jump. That's 2 stories. This is a skating rink right here. Oh. Yeah, we got a new show for y'all. Got a damn good show. But before we get to today's video, don't forget, got a new giveaway. Turbo Cummins Turbo Diesel. Ram.
And by the way, the channel name is called Hodge Twins. You know, they've been on YouTube for quite a while now. Very long while, more than probably like 2 or 3 decades. No, not even 3. I'll say probably 2 decades maybe. I'll say at least 1, but anyways, let's continue.
10,000 in cash. But if you enter today, you also enter to win our new giveaway, which is the F250. 10,000 in cash with the camper. Just go to my website, officialhorsetwins.com. Anything you buy on the site gets you automatically, and it win. Yeah. That's crazy. Over some glasses? Well, these some nice shades. And he's sub-Saharan, so this is all worth it.
Do you know the UK landlord's nasty little secret? Say, have you got...
With me. Damn, feel me?
A few moments later.
So he's getting chased. You know what's crazy? It's so instant, you don't feel nothing. Everything's snapped up.
let's rewind that again, man. Yeah, Artaza brothers have a strong stomach, you know. That's a saying, which that's referring to the mind. But yeah, man, this type of shit, you know, again, there's levels to stupidity, man. Because he stole, you know, these pair of glasses, as it says here.
Feel me?
Few
Jay wanted to look fly, as they say. And, you know, police caught up with him, they were running, and then this guy decided to just jump. And the Most High put the spirit upon him to do it, which was his own judgment, man.
moments later.
Someone's getting chased by the police. Okay.
He's getting chased.
Feel me?
Few moments later.
Someone's getting chased by the police. Okay.
He's getting chased.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Most High had him doing the splits, man. You know, this is why we always say, fear Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, man. He put a very degenerate spirit upon this man. And again, there's levels to stupidity. And this is it right here.
You know what's crazy? It's so instant, you don't feel nothing. Everything's snapped up.
His ankle came off.
Look, dude come over there on some skates. I guess he didn't realize that was a skating rink. I mean, you're not just gonna... You're gonna do that. Man. That is low IQ. Man, it looked like his foot came off. You know, his legs like two inverse parentheses. I've seen like a comedy show. It was like a comedy sketch, and the guy jumped and did when they showed him when he landed, his legs was all broken.
Oh, yeah.
I forget what show it was.
Right.
That's
Yeah, man, you know. That's the judgment of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Man. This is why Jake needs a reset, man. Jake needs a reset. Jake needs a hardcore reset. Yeah, let's get this precept here. It's not in there. Yeah. So where is it, man? Hold on. Jeremiah 4 and verse 22. Says it for my people, Jeremiah 4 and 22. It says, for my people is foolish. They have not known me. They are sottish children, which sottish means stupid, and they have none understanding. They have no understanding. They are wise to do evil, but to do good they have no knowledge, man. So Jake, of course, thought it was sly, you know, just take a pair of glasses without people noticing. That's just stupidity. Of course, there's going to be cameras in the mall, and nevertheless, man, if you had the wisdom of the scriptures, you wouldn't be stealing in the first place anyways. You know, so that's just a mad thing that happened there, man. Alright, hold on. Because really back in the day, this was actually a punishment. This was a very severe punishment, man, to just take something, to steal something. A typical Israelite stealing, man. Which really, he's just a thief coming back again, man. The Most High just giving him, making it known, man. You know, that this is another thief coming back into his lot. So Deuteronomy 4, Deuteronomy 4:24 and 7. If a man be found stealing any of his brethren of the children of Israel, and maketh merchandise of him, selleth him, then that thief shall die, and thou shalt put evil away among you, man. It says that thief shall die if found stealing any of his brethren of the children of Israel. Which really, this is all about a man, you know, stealing a man. You know, there's also other things as well, other precepts as well. But hold on. Let me see. Because I know obviously that's a good one there, but that's pertaining to if a man steals another man, you know, and sells him. Pretty much what this is talking about. You know, a good example would be, you know, Joseph being sold to the Midianites. which are like a subsect of the Ishmaelites, for slavery to Egypt, man. You know, so yeah, that's an example of a brother of Israel selling another brother in Israel. But anyways, let's see if I can find another one. So murderizing. Let's see. Hold on. Yeah, there were ways to deal with it, man. As it says here. Let me check this. As it says here, Exodus 22 and verse 1, if a man shall steal an ox or sheep and kill it and sell it, he shall restore 5 oxen for an ox and 4 sheep for a sheep. If a thief be found breaking up and be smitten that he die, there shall no blood be shed for him, man. You know, let's see what this says. And hold on. Let's see this, what it says in the NLT. So in the NLT, Exodus 22 and 2, if a thief is caught in the act of breaking into a house and is struck and killed in the process, the person who killed the thief is not guilty of murder. So that's what that means there. But hold on, I'm trying to get to a point. Really, verse 1 says what needs to be done. You know, you just restore what you've stolen. But of course, that Jake there, you know, I just saw in the video, you know, that Jake there was not ready to flipping return what he stole. Hold on. Yeah, man, you know, as it says there in verse 7, if a man shall deliver unto his neighbor money or stuff to keep, so you know, you let your brother keep something for you, and it be stolen out of the man's house, if the thief be found, let him pay double. So obviously the thief is supposed to pay double of what he stole, man. You know, here in terms of animals, which is really part of the true riches, you know, the livestock, that's part of real riches. It says 5 oxen for an ox and 4 sheep for a sheep, man. So really, the basis of it all was the thief just returning what he stole. That's what it comes down to. You know, well, double fold or 5-fold, you know, depending on what he sold, he stole. So, you know, there were measures within Israel that's supposed to be executed, but even nevertheless, in the first place, you know, he ain't supposed to be stealing. So yeah, this is like the Mosai just Mosai giving his response onto this J, man. It's like, all right, time to make him do the splits.
You know what's crazy? The dude he don't feel anything. He don't feel anything. You see what he's doing, right? He's trying to end his Facebook Live. That's what he's doing. That's what he's doing. That's what he was doing, huh? He was streaming that live, and now he's trying to end it because he can't feel his feet.
And the thing is, you can't even have pity on him, anyways, because first of all, it's not as if he was stealing out of hunger, man. He was stealing out of just vain desire for a vain object. You know, Jake can be very materialistic. So Proverbs 6 and 30, men do not despise a thief if he steal to satisfy his soul when he is hungry. You know, that's why there were measures with Israelites who had land, you know, to let some remnant of the harvest be there, so that people of whom were more poor could come by and then select some food, man. That way you prevent homelessness. I mean, that way you prevent how do you call it? Really, you prevent evil as well, you know, because obviously there ain't no bitterness in the poor person, and you prevent any other problems when it pertains to an Israelite brother being hungry, man. So that's why I said it prevents an evil eye being developed. So it says if he steal to satisfy his soul when he is hungry. But this guy wasn't hungry. This guy was just stealing. He wasn't stealing to satisfy his soul out of hunger. No, he was stealing out of greed, I wanted to look fly, you know, had the glittering shades, man. You know, a pair of glasses. Anyways, let's continue. Actually, before I continue, you know, go get this one, the one that we all know. Hosea 4 and 6. My people, Hosea 4 and 6, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power. I will also forget thy children. So again, destroyed for lack of knowledge. They ain't got no knowledge of the scriptures. And that's the true knowledge that we ought to have. But Israel, because of the fact that they lack this knowledge of the scriptures, they ain't got the wisdom to operate and navigate life, man. You know, which really we navigate life via the scriptures, man. But of course, if all Jake did that, they'll be fine. But because of the fact that 2/3 don't do that, you know, wicked Israelites don't do that, that's when these type of things happen. You know, he was he was a snare unto himself, if you can even say that, a trap unto himself, because of the nature and the evil spirit that the Most High put upon him.
Look, like, what's going on right here? I don't think he'll be able to walk right again. Yeah, you gonna put some nails, some pins, and then put a cast on, let it seize back up. That dude's gonna need a cane.
Yeah, man, the guy's probably finished in terms of his ability to walk. If the Most High even had if that's a huge if the Most High even had mercy, which, you know, again, 2/3 gonna be 2/3, and they're gonna be punished anyways. You know, he may be able to heal a little bit, but you know, all we can do is really just you know, Most High's will be done. That's what we always say, Yahweh. You know, another way of saying that as well as I think it's Yahweh Ratazakah Haya Aisha, that Yahweh's will be done. You know, so yeah, man, the point is these 2/3, they're gonna get punished, and there won't be pity on them at all. And this is just like an inkling of what he's gonna have to suffer. The first phase, you could even say.
A cane? Yeah, a cane. I said cane. He's gonna need a cane. God, how embarrassing is this? This gave that whole mall black fatigue. Yeah, people like him, man, makes our life harder. Yeah, I know. Because when they see us, that's what they see. Until, you know, until they really get to know us.
It's true. You see, you know, ninjas like this operating over there in the shopping center, and then, you know, it just spoils the whole show for the actual genuinely caring and jakes that can actually reason and behave properly, you know, amongst the heathen, man. But, you know, it's a stigma that's rubbed off on Jake, unfortunately. Remember, it says, so Deuteronomy 28 and 37, part of the curses, and thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whither the Lord Yahweh shall lead thee. So, of course, we're going to have that very bad stigma about us, which is unfortunate. You know, so, yeah, man, especially when it comes to these guys who cannot reason at all. I'm talking about wicked Israelites of the world. As I said, there's levels. You know, obviously, you got Jake, of whom, you know, they're careful, you know, with what they do. They stay in their own lane, they can reason, but that's in a worldly sense. You know, that's just worldly basic wisdom, you know. But in terms of there's still stupidity, again, high level stupidity, where it's like you just do all sorts of wickedness because they ain't got no light within them, man. You know, which is really understanding of the scriptures and Harcha Kodash. Which all in all the worldly Israelites, they don't have any light in them. That's the thing. You know, so yeah, man, tough times. But Yara Tazar, that of course all of this suffering, the bywords and whatnot, you know, all of it will end, man. And no more Jake will have to be in this lowly position. which of course is all mentioned in scriptures of Israelites being higher than the nations. Hold on, let me see if I can get this. I don't know why I was glitching. Alright, let me see if I can get here. It's Deuteronomy 28 and 37. Okay, cool. Deuteronomy 28 and 37. Let's get to the root word for byword.
Strong's H8148. Shenina. Shenina.
So Shenina, meaning sharp word, sharp cutting word, taunt, a guide. So really, a sharp word, you can liken it as a, you know, we say it as a cold word ninja. But I'm going to just say, you know, nigger. You know, that's what they say. That's what these heathens say within their minds. And that's what Jake has to endure through, as well as even other, you could even liken it as other sharp words as well, you know, harsh words, man. You know, such as Jake being called stupid, and because of their predominant or dominant features, their big nose, big lips, and all that, as a mockery. You know, all of that will stop, man. But anyways, yeah, that's Jake right there. That's the stigma that follows Jake, unfortunately. But yeah, let's get another precept here before I get back to the video. Yeah, just get after this, you know, I'll get a few precepts and yarats, or you know, we'll end off there. Because the point is simple, man. It was judgment from the Most High, and this is what happens when a person, a typical 2/3, because he's behaving as one, is really he brought his own demise, man. You know, he was a snare onto himself. It was a trap onto himself because of his nature of wickedness. So Proverbs 28 and 5, evil men understand not judgment, but they that seek the Lord Yahweh understand all things. You know, as we reason with the scriptures, we also are able to understand all things, man, through the spirit and guidance of Yahweh Bashim Yashab. But evil men, as that guy there who did the splits, you know, evil men understand not judgment, man. So, of course, he's not going to understand the reason why he did this. I mean, the reason why he deserved this.
So you're not one of them. Right. Yeah, I know. It's true.
What the hell?
Kevin, this is Houston, the Galleria Mall.
The Cardo carrots come in a massive bag, seem really good value, and are always really fresh.
Mall. Crime is through the roof in Houston.
Road just fell from up there, bro.
How far do you think that was? Look at that.
Road just fell from up there.
They keep saying he fell. He jumped. He did that willingly.
And the Most High put it in his spirit to do so, man. The Most High put that stir spirit for him to actually jump, thinking it's going to be good, but stupidity got him, man. The demon left instantly as soon as he went through that splitting process, man. Of course, pun intended. So
Look how far that is. Bro, tripping. He tripping. You know what's crazy about this? Whenever you see something crazy, some sub-Saharan doing something in a sub-Saharan neighborhood, the commentary that comes with those videos, it be tripping.
Even Jake in the world understands the stupidity of this guy, man. Even Jake in the world understands this. As I said, that's why I said there's levels to stupidity. You know, both of them are of ignorance in the truth. I mean, I say in the truth. But they're ignorant of Yahweh Shem Yahshua. Hence why, you know, they're still living loosely and not considering the words of Yahweh Shem Yahshua and the scriptures, nor the prophets, you know, of Great Millstone. They ain't considering that. They're just living their lives. But again, there's still levels of stupidity. See, that's why, you know, the guy recorded saying he's tripping, man. He's tripping. So Jake can reason, but, you know, you only get him so far until Jacob's trouble. Then it's like, okay, if you ain't got Yahweh Hashem Yahshua, all bets are off. That's really it.
Fail.
This dumbass jumped from the second or third floor in the Galleria to the ice, running from the laws.
Running from the laws. He put an S on it. Running from the
Bro,
laws.
both his legs. You got to be the dumbest in the world.
Even Jake calling Jake stupid, man. Oh my gosh, because you called him a dumbass. But yeah, man, let me get this precept here, and then I'm gonna play a little bit more of the video, then, you know, close out, man. Damn, man. But Jake can be funny though. I ain't gonna lie about that. Salt of the earth indeed. So Ecclesiasticus 14, and let's say verse 3. Yeah, this one's a good part. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, I was just discerning whether I should read the first 2 verses. But you know what? I'm going to read the first 3 verses. So Ecclesiasticus 14:1. Blessed is the man that hath not slipped with his mouth, and is not pricked with the multitude of his sins. Blessed is he whose conscience hath not condemned him, and who is not fallen from his hope in the Lord. You could even see that as a pun, man, because the guy, well, he didn't really fall. He willingly jumped, man. You know, so he's fallen from his hope in Yahweh Hashem Yahshua. And remember, what caused him this is the stealing, you know, those expensive glasses, man, which is you could liken as a form of riches. So Ecclesiasticus 14:3, riches are not comely for a niggard, and what should an envious man do with money, man? But yeah, which a niggard means it means what does it mean? Hold on. It's like a ungenerous person, something like that. Bear with me. Alright, let's do it here. Definition of niggard. A mean or ungenerous person. You see, it says it here, man. A mean or ungenerous person, man. You know, it says a meanly covetous or stingy person, miser, niggard. You know, which you know how the word sounds like. It sounds like nigger, isn't it? So, of course, this is quite a funny scripture considering the state that he's in. So riches are not comely for a niggard, and what should an envious man do with his money, man? So, you know, riches are not suitable for a niggard, man. They don't match right, because he won't have that wisdom to handle those riches, those resources. See? But anyways, I'm gonna play the rest of this video or a little bit more, then Yaratazam, I'm gonna just close it out, man.
He's streaming this. He's trying to do URL content. Yeah, that's what he's doing. He wants to be rich and famous.
Yeah, what they're talking about is IRL content, which, you know, brothers, you know, it's really just talking about live streaming, but in real life. Like, imagine if a person held a camera, started live streaming in the shopping center, man, whatever country that they may be, and obviously this is in the USA, but yeah, man, that's the type of spirit that's on people not right now. They want to get that money, and, you know, then they're in real life IRL streaming.
Yeah, and these influencers that do this, they're making a lot of money, but there's a bad element around that type of content. Yeah, I don't think.
And it's true. There is a bad element in that content. You know why? Hold on. Let me show you why. Let me show you why, man. Hold on. So Ecclesiastes 10 and verse 6. Folly is set in great dignity, and the rich sit in a low place. And that rich is talking about really the ones who have the riches of the scriptures, the understanding, the truth of the scriptures, man. You know, they sit in a low place. But folly, those people who give into foolishness, you know, in terms of live streamers, you know, we've got the modern day streamers like Kaisana, Aisha Speed, and these other guys as well, the entertainers of the world. They do foolishness in order to get that honor, man, which their honor, that's how they get paid. You know, so again, that's what it means where it says folly is set in great dignity. And even liken it as onto the rulers of the world too, man, because they're also foolish to a certain degree too, because of the fact that they abstain from the ways of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, which again is in Esau's nature to rebel against Yahweh Shem Yahushua, because he's been doing that since the day he sold his darn birth certificate, you know, for simplicity of meaning. So yeah, Ecclesiastes 10 and 6. Folly is set in great dignity, and the rich sit in a low place, man. That's why you get all these people doing all this nonsense.
I think he realized this was a skating.
See what foolishness has now led him to cracked legs.
Right. I thought man, look at that nice white floor. I'm just gonna jump down there.
He was seriously injured. Video from the moments after has since gone viral on social media. Our Gage Goulding is chatting with the guy behind the camera who saw the whole thing happen.
Activia presents A Healthy Day Starts With Your Gut. Hydrate, brush, stretch, or exercise. A healthy...
He jumped from the top, landed straight on ice, bro.
I seen the Zamboni coming out to clear the ice, and then I just see somebody fall.
But this was no accident. The guy laying on the ice skating rink here at the Galleria Mall meant to jump down here. It was all part of his ice-cold getaway plan. Houston police say he just stole from a store in the mall around 2 in the afternoon on Sunday.
At some point, while being chased by police, the suspect jumping over this glass barrier and onto the ice skating rink down below.
Why would you do that? How can you be that stupid?
There's levels. There's levels to stupidity, man.
Anything is possible with a sub-Saharan.
Breaking both of his legs.
As soon as he fell, he tried to get up, and I guess he noticed his legs were broken. He screamed, "My legs are broken."
I guess he noticed. My legs are broken. I guess he noticed. He's smart enough to notice that, huh? His legs pointing in different directions. This dude's commentary is fire.
And I'm like,
He screamed that.
he's screaming. He's like, "My legs are broken." I'm like, well, duh, obviously, right?
Oh my God.
I don't know why he thought he was gonna make that landing whatsoever.
This is just the latest crime in the Galleria area in the recent weeks. That's including 3 different shootings in or around the mall over the last month or so.
I think it's about like what you do when you outside. If you go to a bad area, bad things gonna happen.
I mean, the Galleria is a place like I don't necessarily feel the safest when I come. I would not bring my kids over here.
Houston police got that guy.
See, as I said, there's levels, man. You know, Jake of the world, some of them can reason, some of them can't reason. There's levels to, I could even call it levels to niggotry. You know, I ain't gonna name it that, but you know, really, that's what it is. There's levels to niggotry. You know, higher level stupid ones, and then there's low level stupid ones.
On the ice and took him to the hospital with serious injuries.
But all in all, they're still of the world, man, and they all will receive their portion of judgment.
They do have charges pending both for theft and for evading police. It's only after those charges are formally filed that they release his name. At the Galleria, Gage Goulding, KPRC.
Yeah, that's it, man. That's it. But yeah, Shalom, Bashim Yashai, Barakatha. And also double honors to the great Muslim apostles. Shalom.